Welcome back to this really stupid series where I time how long it took cartoon characters to touch grass. Today I'll be taking a look at The Ghost and Molly McGee. If you haven't seen one of these videos before, you can pause right now to read out the rules I go by. Something I feel like I should clarify for this video in particular is that the musical numbers in the show do not count towards my fantasy sequences rule. With that out of the way, let's introduce today's grass-touching contestants. We have Molly, Scratch, Daryl, Sharon, Pete, Grandma Nin, Libby, Andrea, Ollie, Geoff, that's spelled Geoff, Jinx, and the Chairman. Alright, let's touch some grass. Starting off strong, Molly takes very little time to touch grass. Once the McGees arrive at their new home, she jumps out of the car and steps onto this tiny bit of grass growing out of the pavement, scoring an impressive 42 seconds. Scratch, however, was expectedly, terrible. He stays inside for almost all of both The Curse and First Day Fright, with only a few small exceptions where he's outside but not touching any grass. In Howl and Harriet, he's forced to go outside. He's eventually seen laying on some grass, scoring a really bad 19 minutes and 33 seconds. Daryl did pretty decently. He doesn't really get much focus in The Curse and especially First Day Frights, so after not appearing in Howl and Harriet and The Unnatural, he goes into bringing the band shell back together with a time only a little bit above 3 minutes. During the Just Give song, the McGee siblings approach Todd's house. Daryl pops up from the side, taking a look at the layout of the front yard and the way he's leaning in. He must be standing on this grass, clocking in a time of 5 minutes and 6 seconds. I also want to mention that Michaela Dietz now holds second place for the voice actor with the most characters covered in this series, with Amethyst from Steven Universe and V from the Owl House previously covered. And second place is really all anyone can hope to achieve, since Alex Hirsch voiced like half the cast of Gravity Falls on top of King and Hootie from the Owl House. Sharon also did decently, but obviously she did better than her son. Not really much to say here. She has the same episode appearances as Daryl, but she's not as present as he is, and she touches grass later on in the same musical number that he did, after 4 minutes and 43 seconds. As for Pete, he's very similar. He had a few longer scenes during getting the band shell back together, and he does not touch grass during the Just Give song like his wife, but he still touched it the next time he is seen, ending on a time of 5 minutes and 7 seconds. Grandma Nin's first few appearances were simple video calls, so by the time she shows up for real, her time is still pretty low. As the tension between her and Sharon builds and builds, Molly finds the perfect solution. Everyone should go outside and touch grass, giving Nin a time of just 4 minutes and 37 seconds. Libby is green. Grass is also green, so it should be no surprise that after her brief appearance in First Day Frights, Howl and Harriet would have her touching grass right away, coming extremely close to her soon-to-be best friend's time, scoring just 46 seconds. Looks like we've got another tie, this time with Amelia Hughes from Infinity Train. So let's do some frame conversions. Amelia's time will now read as 46.4 seconds and Libby as 46.9 seconds. Okay, this was surprising. Andrea didn't do that bad. She actually doesn't appear in First Day Fright as much as I remember, and Scratch possessing her for a few minutes definitely helped her. So by the end of that episode, she only has a time of 3 minutes and 24 seconds. And the next time she appears in The Unnatural, she's standing out on grass. Molly and Ollie have a lot in common. Most notably, they both touch grass as soon as they arrive at their new home in Brighton. However, Ollie is already touching a full patch of grass in his very first shot, easily claiming the #1 spot. Geoff, that's Geoff, is way better at touching grass than his bestie. He only shows up when he knows there's gonna be plenty of grass to touch in Hal and Harriet. We see him and Scratch hiding in the bushes. And while I can't say that Scratch was touching grass here, since he's a bit of a small ghost, Geoff is much larger, and there's no way he isn't touching the ground here. Ground, which is grass. Geoff touched grass in 1 minute and 29 seconds. We've got a 3-way tie now. Also with 1 minute and 29 seconds were Church and Tucker from Red vs. Blue. So, once again, time to convert those frames to decimals. Church and Tucker's time now reads as 1 minute and 29.1 seconds, and Geoff Geoff has scored 1 minute and 29.6 seconds. Jinx had the potential to get a super fast grass touching time. Her first appearance in The Jig Is Up has plenty of grass, but she only ever floats over it. So now her time goes up significantly, since most of her appearances after this are set in the grassless ghost world. I originally thought she would end up never touching grass, but eventually we get to Jinx versus the human world, and she finally touches grass after 26 minutes and 1 second. The chairman. Kind of a nothing character if we're being honest, and that's quite fitting because he never touches grass. But there is only one episode where he leaves the ghost world, the very hungry ghost. And at first, it's not very clear whether he's touching grass or not, but eventually we get this shot that confirms that no, he's not touching grass, he's just floating above it. It was really fun to do a video on this show again after so long. Like I said at the end of Amphibia Re-Reviewed, I am in the process of making a full series retrospective on this show. Not exactly sure when that will be out, but my best guess is mid to late April. I'm also already working on the next grass touching video. All the characters are timed, all the graphics are made, I just need to record and edit it. And if you follow me on Twitter, you may have an idea of what it could be. But with that all said, my name is Dr. Lamington, and I'll let June finish this off.
Smash that like button and subscribe.
The Ghost and Molly McGee.